When to be ruthless and when to be graceful. The Career Balancing Act. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments. Ladies, let's be honest, corporate life is less like a team-building retreat and more like an episode of Game of Thrones. Except instead of swords, we wield PowerPoint slides, budget approvals, and strategically timed email threads. The workplace is a battlefield, and the first rule of war is simple. Survival isn't guaranteed for the meek. But does that mean you should storm every office meeting with the ferocity of a caffeinated lioness? Not quite. Sometimes, the key to winning is knowing when to pounce and when to purr. Why ruthlessness isn't always a dirty word. Picture this. You're in a meeting, and your coworker Becky has just pitched your brilliant idea as her own. While your inner monologue might sound something like, "Becky, I hope your coffee machine breaks for eternity," your outward response can set the tone for your reputation. Ruthlessness, when applied with surgical precision, is about reclaiming your power without looking unhinged. Think of it as professional boundary setting with a splash of flair. Instead of a dramatic outburst, try calmly saying, "Becky, I appreciate your enthusiasm for my idea. I'm glad it resonated with you. I'd love to expand on it further." That's the corporate equivalent of reminding everyone you're the queen without even adjusting your crown. Ruthlessness doesn't mean stepping on everyone to get ahead. It's about defending your space and ensuring that others know it's yours. The power of strategic silence. Sometimes, the best way to dominate a room is to say absolutely nothing. Silence is like wearing an invisible designer outfit. It speaks volumes without uttering a word. Imagine your coworker throwing shade or making a snarky comment during a presentation. Instead of firing back with a witty, but risky, rebuttal, pause, look them directly in the eyes, and let the silence linger like the weight of their bad decision. That awkward moment? It's all yours. It screams, "I don't need to dignify your nonsense," while making everyone else take note of your composure. Silence can be more ruthless than words, and it's a surefire way to make an impact without breaking a sweat. Grace, your secret weapon against chaos. Grace, my friend, is the art of walking through a war zone and leaving behind the scent of roses. It's how you defuse tension without becoming the office doormat. In toxic environments, grace isn't about letting people walk all over you. It's about mastering the art of gentle deflection and redirection. For example, when Karen from accounting passive-aggressively emails you at 6:01 p.m. asking for just a quick update, resist the urge to reply with an all-caps response. Instead, channel your inner Zen goddess and reply the next morning with, "Hi Karen, I noticed your email after hours. I'll have this for you by noon today." It's graceful but firm, setting a boundary without starting a flame war. The balancing act. Knowing which hat to wear. Here's the secret sauce. Ruthlessness and grace aren't mutually exclusive. They're like the dynamic duo of your career wardrobe. When wielded together, they turn you into an unstoppable force. Think Wonder Woman, but with better shoes. When to choose ruthlessness. When your ideas are stolen, don't let anyone steal your intellectual thunder. Speak up firmly but professionally. When respect is at stake. If someone disrespects your time, work, or boundaries, call it out. Nicely if possible, firmly if necessary. When opportunities are scarce, if there's only one spot at the top, ensure your name is the one being whispered in the boardroom. When to choose grace. When emotions are high, a graceful response during chaos makes you the calm in the storm everyone admires. When building alliances, grace makes you approachable, fostering connections that can elevate your career. When you're under scrutiny, a little poise goes a long way in showing you can handle pressure like a pro. The biggest mistake you can make. Here's a classic pitfall, trying to play nice 100% of the time. While nice is lovely for tea parties and yoga classes, it's a terrible strategy for the corporate jungle. Playing nice all the time can leave you overlooked, undervalued, and undercompensated. You don't want to be the office teddy bear. You want to be the velvet-gloved steel hand. But being ruthless 24/7? That's a one-way ticket to burnout and alienation. Nobody likes the person who treats every minor inconvenience like a duel to the death. You'll get labeled as difficult, and trust me, that's not the kind of office notoriety you want. Your new mantra, the ruthless but graceful pivot. The key is flexibility. Read the room. Assess the stakes. Is this a hill worth dying on, or can you let it slide with a graceful nod? Think of ruthlessness as your power move and grace as your finishing touch. The goal isn't to dominate every moment, but to master the moments that matter most. Ruthless tactics that feel like graceful acts. Mastering the art of ruthlessness isn't about stomping on others. It's about strategic finesse. You're not a bulldozer. You're a chess master. And in the corporate game, even your power moves can appear smooth, even elegant, when executed correctly. Set boundaries like a boss. You know that colleague who always dumps their work on you with a smile? It's time to channel your inner boundary-setting guru. Instead of snapping, "Do I look like your assistant?" Tempting, I know. Try a polished yet firm response like, "I'm at capacity right now, but I'd be happy to brainstorm solutions with you." Translation, not my problem, but I'm polite enough to pretend I care. This approach makes you look supportive while ensuring you don't become the office doormat. Bonus, it leaves the offender no room to guilt you. Steal the spotlight the right way. We've all been in meetings where someone else presents our idea as their own. Becky strikes again. Instead of huffing and puffing, wait for your moment. When the team starts discussing the idea, casually slide in with, "I'm so glad we're diving into the concept I mentioned last week. Let's build on that." You're reclaiming your credit without looking petty. That's high-level grace, acknowledging your contribution with an effortless smile while the room takes note of your diplomacy. The strategic yes. Sometimes you have to say yes to things that don't excite you. Keyword, strategically. Volunteering to organize a client presentation? Sure, it's tedious, but if it puts you in the good graces of decision makers, it's worth it. The trick? Leverage this yes to build political capital, then cash it in when it really matters. Graceful ruthlessness means recognizing that not all battles need immediate rewards. Some are investments in future wins. Graceful moves that pack a ruthless punch. Let's flip the script. Grace isn't about being a pushover. It's about wielding charm as your ultimate weapon. There's nothing more disarming than kindness paired with quiet, calculated intent. Kill them with kindness and strategy. If there's one thing toxic coworkers hate, it's kindness. Why? Because it's impossible to argue with. When someone launches a snarky attack, counter with an empathetic response like, "I can see how you might feel that way." Then pivot to your point without skipping a beat. It's infuriating for them, but makes you look unflappable. Meanwhile, you're secretly scoring points with the higher-ups for your professionalism under fire. Be the office oracle. Graceful power is often about knowing what's coming before anyone else does. Listen carefully during meetings, watch how leadership moves, and always stay 2 steps ahead. The next time a project or promotion opportunity arises, you'll be the one who's already prepped, making everyone else look like they're playing catch-up. It's ruthless in its foresight, but graceful in its execution. You're not stealing opportunities. You're simply prepared when they arise. Use humor as your armor. Humor is an underutilized superpower in the corporate world. It's disarming, memorable, and, when used correctly, incredibly strategic. When faced with an unreasonable request, instead of outright rejecting it, try saying with a grin, "Of course," right after I invent a 25th hour in the day. It's a lighthearted way to say no, while keeping the mood light. Humor softens your message but leaves no doubt about your boundaries. The toxic trio. How to handle them gracefully, but ruthlessly. The micromanager. They hover. They nitpick. They CC everyone from the janitor to the CEO on emails. Counter them with over-communication. Beat them at their own game by sending detailed updates before they even ask. Eventually, they'll back off, realizing you're 5 steps ahead of their meddling. The credit thief. Oh, Becky, we meet again. This time, shut down her antics preemptively by documenting everything. After team discussions, send follow-up emails summarizing key points and your contributions. This way, when Becky inevitably tries to steal the spotlight, you've already established a paper trail. The gossip queen. They thrive on drama and spread rumors faster than a viral meme. Don't feed the beast. Maintain a polite distance and focus on cultivating your own reputation. The less reactive you are, the faster their fire fizzles. Remember, the only thing louder than gossip is your track record of excellence. The 3 golden rules of the balancing act. Pick your battles wisely. Not every slight deserves a response. Save your energy for moments that truly matter. Protect your reputation at all costs. Grace and ruthlessness both hinge on perception. Always be mindful of how your actions appear to others. Stay adaptable. Office dynamics change constantly. The ability to pivot between grace and ruthlessness is your secret weapon. The finale, your career power pose. Balancing ruthlessness and grace is about more than strategy. It's about mastering your presence. You want to be seen as someone who commands respect but remains approachable. A force to be reckoned with but not feared. Think of yourself as a storm in a teacup. Small, polished, and capable of leaving a lasting impression. And remember, no one rises to the top without ruffling a few feathers. The trick is to do it so elegantly that the feathers practically arrange themselves into a bouquet at your feet. You've got this, queen. Now go out there and conquer with style. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments.